The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So now the Ravens getting ready for their first go on offense. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback. On 1st and 10, Olsen, and incomplete to open things up. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. Play action. Olsen. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's good for a Raven first down. 15 yards there.
Let's go.
Throwing on 1st down. Olsen throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
I like it. I like it. I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it. It really gets them amped up as they go forward.
Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green.
To throw again. Olsen. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. And I know it seems like we say this a lot in broadcast booths, but a quarterback can hold on to the football too long in these situations. I think he did right there.
Oh, I agree with you totally. Sometimes you have to understand situations. Get rid of the football, save some yardage to make it less to gain for the next down. Instead, he was so hipped on ball security, he held on to it and took a big sack.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Olsen under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Well, certainly some teams are not intimidated by down and distance on defense, are they? 3rd and very long? Let's go get this guy again. Big-time pressure.
The Ravens send their punter out now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. So a long field ahead for the Falcon offense as they head out. And their quarterback, well, everyone knows he's got height, standing at 6'6". They'll run it now out of the gun. And space opens a bit as he gets it across the 15 to the 17-yard line. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
Back to throw. Decker, and his throw is incomplete. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
So incomplete on second down. Now they'll look to convert here on third. Third and short, it's Dixon. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on fourth down.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot, and on that play, they were able to stop them short of a first down.
On fourth down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. Last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Taking it about the 36. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Ravens will take over. An update now from Oakland. It's the Chiefs that have jumped out to the early lead against the Raiders. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
The numbers for him from a week ago: 3 catches, 63 yards.
And I get the feeling that he loves this matchup. I mean, the unit he's going against is in the bottom half of the league against the pass. He had to have circled this one on the schedule and said to himself, this should be a big game.
And he whips that one incomplete there. Second down here after the incomplete pass. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on third. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive.
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only the controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. On first down, Decker. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
On second down, it's Dixon. And he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on third and long. Looking to throw. Decker. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether it's in different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And this is their third drive. Maybe the focus right now not so much on points, but getting their first down.
And when you start off a game, you don't even think that's an issue, do you? But you go a drive, a second drive, no first down, that becomes an issue. Now you got to think about, okay, what kind of play calling do I have to do to get us in a spot to pick that first one up?
And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 12 carries, 60 yards.
And as we discovered in talking with the coaching staff prior to the game, going up against a team that struggled against the run has only emboldened them to run the football more. I expect 40 to 50 carries in this game.
Back to throw. Olsen. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Let's just make this one simple. Could he be any more open than he was on that play?
And they lost him going to the outside.
Hard to believe because you go through your accounting on each and every defensive snap. Who's got who, what defense you're in. That was totally a blown coverage.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Harmon. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because
and no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted. And they insert their dime package, 6 DBs here on 3rd and 6.
Expecting pass all the way. Operating from the gun. Olsen, throw left side, complete. It's Clark. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. 12 yards the pickup there, good for a Raven first. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
Let's go. Blue landed.
From the gun, Olsen. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Falcons grab it. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. So one quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. 0-0 our score. We're back to Baltimore after this. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 1st and 10 following the fumble recovery. The drive begins with a run by Dixon. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Green 39. Green 39.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Decker. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Now the Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd down.
Could be a blitzer.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Operating from the gun. Decker. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Able to slither by. And just a 30-yard punt that time. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well. But the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
Yeah, he'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give him 17 on that pickup.
How did he do that? How did he do it? I mean, in this type of weather, it's not just catching it, it's seeing it coming towards it. Maybe that's why he ended up having to go one-handed, but boy, what a catch.
That was a spectacular one-handed grab. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to run with.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
So out come the Falcons now. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes If you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
A solid gain of 15 yards and the sticks move. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it up.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
To throw on second down. Decker drops it underneath to Dixon. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Throwing on 3rd and long. Decker. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is taken in at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I know they had good coverage downfield, but you have to wonder, on 3rd and long like that, how does that happen that they can get that far downfield and complete a pass? You got to guard the sticks, understand where you are, and so it's almost like someone fell asleep in the switch, and now that the play's been completed, they've got to dust themselves off on defense, pick it up, and figure out how to not let that happen again. I don't know if there's any other way to put it, but that play was blown up right from the snap. How about the guys on the defensive side of the ball? It's almost like they were in the offensive huddle.
It's one thing to stand them up from that 1-yard line. Pushing them back to the 5, though. Wow.
Yeah, I like what you just said there. Not just stand them up, but end up making a play on the other side of the line of scrimmage.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've only converted once in 4 tries. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. From the gun, Decker. And that is incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground. And now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
And his kick is indeed good. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. And we were scoreless up until this point in the 2nd quarter. Now we finally have a little action.
Let's see where this action takes us. First quarter, no points at all. Now we've got our first score of the game. Well, does that signal that we're going to get more as we go along? Or will it revert back to what we saw in the beginning of the game?
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Ravens on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Operating from the gun. Olsen. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll make it 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. From the gun on 3rd down. Decker. Quick hitter here. It's complete. 1:57 to go in this first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. On 1st and 10, Decker. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open. When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Decker. That's caught inside the 20. And he is taken down deep in Baltimore territory. A big-time play there for the Falcons. And even 40 yards. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now before the 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green.
To throw on 2nd down. Decker, and he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And his kick here is good. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive only yields 3 points.
Yeah, they were able to move the football, but the defense stiffened once their backs were to the end zone, and they were able to hold them to just 3.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Throwing on first down. Olsen throwing the out route incomplete. It's Harmon, and he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Back to the air on second down. Olsen. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 30.
A final shot before break. Decker. And his throw is going to be incomplete. So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, where Larry Ridley has our EA Sports halftime report. Larry?
So let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. First and 10, Gilmore is going to make the one-handed grab, and he won't be brought down until he makes it to their own 42-yard line. Now first and 10, Harmon's found on the quick pass, and he'll end up at the 35-yard line before being tackled. Score stays the same, though, as they miss the field goal. And with that, we'll wrap up our halftime report and head back out now to M&T Bank Stadium for the start of the second half.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Now the offense lining up first and 10. Off the play fake. Decker. And his throw is going to be incomplete. The pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Throwing again. Decker. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. A good pickup there. 26 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback and his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged, because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
Looking to throw. Decker. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Off-play action. Decker. And this is incomplete. The Falcons on third down. Lacking much success. Just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 19.
Let's go, Detroit! Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will make our score 9-0. So 3 field goals for him here, and this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
And he's been solid as usual. And this is what you need to do. Make sure you get points out of every possession. And so far, they've done a nice job of that.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. From the gun, Olsen. And this one's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. And on 2nd and 10 now.
Let's go!
To throw again. Olsen finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. The Ravens on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Hot, blue 90.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. And to give this time to the tailback. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
The Ravens send their punter out now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Oh, the Falcons fly in and they block it. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Falcons.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they've been down there. They've been in enemy territory, as you said. They just hadn't been able to punch it in until that point. So they're going to go for 2. They'll try and run it up the middle. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. So the defense gets the stop. I know it's situation to situation, but who has more pressure there, offense or defense, when they go for 2?
I truly believe it's the defense has more pressure, because the offense has an entire playbook wide open from the 2-yard line. You can run it, you can throw it. So defensively, I think most teams are going to be aggressive and force the issue and try and bring pressure.
And a short kick, taking it about the 16. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Now a handoff here to his running back. He fights forward for a couple with a penalty flag down. And the linemen, they're already walking back.
Holding offense.
And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It'll be a pickup of 13 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. What do you think, Brandon? I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. The Ravens on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Off the play fake. Olsen. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Down in this one, they needed that score, but they'll have to hold at least for the time being.
You're exactly right. Points that they had to have. As you said, they have to regroup now and see if they can get them another way.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. This is sort of what you would call the put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. Because I remember playing in these spots, and my coach would always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
Back to throw. Decker fights him off. Under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety. So the defense does their job. They get rid of that 0 on the scoreboard. Now we'll see if their offense can come to play.
Well, that's the way you get things started, right? Score yourself on defense, get the ball back for your offense, and tell them, let's go. We're in the game now.
So a free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. And we'll see what he can do on the return.
It's the third quarter, and they're down on the scoreboard. And while no one wants to hit the panic button just yet, points are a necessity on this drive. What a great way to get set up.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. I would say they went 3 and out last time, but actually they didn't even get to 3 and out. Still a strange decision to us here in the booth.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go 1 and out, but maybe, possibly, let's try and think with them here. Try and play field position maybe, turn the ball over, put it in the hands of their defense. Who knows?
You're a nice man. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there. The play clock's running down, and he'll give it here to his running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll take this one down to the 36. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Well, that's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through. And has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed him for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run.
Now the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. Well, that was a long attempt to begin with, so the fake you might have known was somewhat of a possibility. Credit to the defense, though. They weren't fooled.
You're right. They weren't fooled. And they were in a position of having to play it both ways. Guard for the fake, but you still want to rush the kicker because it was a makeable kick. So they ended up getting the best out of the whole thing. Stuffed the fake, and they take over the ball.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
On first down, Decker over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does. So the quarterback has to slide and find open space to throw.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
The Falcons on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 11. Off play action. Decker. Oh, he's got a man wide open. Complete. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons will extend their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase it. Well, partner, since this new 2-point rule came into play, offenses spend a lot more time working on it. That means the defenses are doing the exact same thing.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And now here come the Ravens. First and 10. Olsen, he's going to float this one deep right side. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had the incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the 4th. The Ravens on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun, Olsen. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's it's incomplete. The Ravens go for it but come up empty. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. On first down, they go with Dixon. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball.
Here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They stay on the ground with Dixon. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain. It appears they'll be a few inches short, so 9 yards on the gain officially, and it'll be third down. The offense on third down tonight, they've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. Looking to throw. Decker. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Now that's a big pickup right there, and so often we focus on how the quarterback's faking on play action. How about everyone being in on the deal and picking it up?
Second and third levels, you could see them trying to recover. They bit. Worked out offensively. The offense operating inside the 10 at the 8 here. It's 1st and goal. Back to throw. Decker. And that is incomplete here.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. Looking to throw on second down. Decker, and he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And that will bump the lead up to 26. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 8. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Ravens heading out on offense as we look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance, as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed,
Yeah,
aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now, to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
To throw on second down. Olsen got his man complete over the middle. That's Harmon. The 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. From the gun, Olsen over the middle, complete. It's Harmon. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Looking to throw on second down. Olsen. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Throwing on first down. Olsen. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Harmon. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there of 22. First down. Olsen over the middle, complete. That's King. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on it. Really well done.
The Ravens on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Operating from the gun. Olsen. And he fires one, but incomplete. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. Right hash mark, a 42-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And that'll put us within 3 scores as it becomes now a 23-point game. Well, in the grand scheme of things, it's likely not going to matter much, but at least they get themselves 3 points closer to respectability.
And I don't know that they're going to feel a whole lot better about things because they've clearly been outplayed all game long. But, hey, no reason not to take the points when the opportunity presents itself.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now a handoff for Dixon. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory. And as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
The Falcons on third down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This will be 3rd and 5. Looking to throw. Decker. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
On the give. This is Dixon. And they'll get him down right about the 20. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Let's go. Green 39.
To throw on second down. Decker. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. So 1 yard to go here on third down.
Here we go now. Green 39.
From the gun, Decker. That's complete right around the 8. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Let's go. Green 39.
On 1st and goal, Dixon. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Here we go now. Green 39.
Off the play fake. Decker. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. Third and goal, Dixon. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
This was boxing. You think maybe they would have thought about stopping this one because this defense has been bruised, it's been battered, but this is why they keep the fight going, right? They just got done with a really nice play, showing they still got a little bit left, don't they?
Haven't had many plays that they can clip, put in the film room, and smile about, but hey, there's one.
Clip and save.
So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And this one is right through. And that will make the lead now 26. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward. And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
And some options here for the offense on 2nd and 2.
Let's go. Blue landed. Hot blue landed.
Operating from the gun. Olsen got his man complete over the middle. It's Harmon. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. From the gun, Olsen. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
A near turnover, but the offense recovers it. Now they'll try to regroup on 2nd. Operating from the gun, Olsen. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball, because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Back to throw, Olsen. Hard throw, incomplete. The Ravens send their punter out now, as he's on here to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Fair catch called for and collected right at the 10-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. They'll start the drive with Dixon. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can...